What's up, guys? So today's video is long overdue. I had to do this video a while back, and I do apologize, G. For those of you that don't know who G is, he's G from G to the Next Level, and you can find him on here on YouTube. You can find him on Facebook on his page, Instagram, and on Twitter. I suggest you do follow him because he puts up some A-OK stuff. I did have to do this a while back, but I couldn't. The timing wasn't right. I was focused on working, but I finally have some me time to actually do this and focus on this. The video that I was actually tagged in is pretty much you got to choose 3 items from out of your own collection that you're most proud to actually have. And my collection, I just like everything I have. I enjoy everything I have, and I appreciate everything I have. So it was pretty hard to actually choose 3 items, but after watching G's video, it came like just instantaneously, I guess. Is that a good word to use in this? I don't know. But after watching his video, I kind of got the idea of what I can actually choose for this video. Now, before I get into my 3 items, I do want to mention one item. It's an honorable mention. Usually people hold these for like the end, but I just want to get it out the way right now, just because I do enjoy this item that was actually a gift. Not necessarily a gift because I did pay for it, but let me just show you what it is. It's the SNES Mini. The reason I want to talk about this just for a couple seconds is because again, it wasn't a gift, but G himself actually, and I believe Jenny was with him at this moment. I could be wrong. Jenny's his wife, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I honestly don't remember because it was a while back. But G actually drove to the treasure truck, the Amazon treasure truck, to go pick this up for me because I've been wanting one. Now, this was around the time it was really tough to find one, and everybody was asking for, like, I don't know, 100 to 120, 150. Heck, some of these even sold for maybe 200, 250 on eBay and other sites. And on the forums from Facebook, on the groups. But I didn't really feel like paying that much for this system. It's a cool system, but before I get into it, I might do a video on it later on, or I might not. Most likely I won't, just because there's so many of these videos talking about the system itself already. But the reason I want to mention it is because, again, G himself drove to the treasure truck to go pick this up for me. He knows that I've been wanting one for a while, and he just did it on like being a good friend. And I appreciate that, G. I really do. And I told you many times already when you did get it for me how much I appreciated it. But again, thank you, G. You didn't have to do it, but you did, so I appreciate you. I appreciate our friendship. So yeah, that was just one item, an honorable mention in my collection that I wanted to get out there. Actually, I still have the treasure truck back. So now, the first item that I actually want to talk about is actually 2 things. It's I guess the item itself is the franchise. So let me just get these out the way. So Call of Duty. I know most people talk mess about Call of Duty, how it's for casuals, or if you're, I don't know, if you're a Call of Duty player and that's all you do, you're not really looked at as a, I don't know, as a gamer. Not sure why, because you're still playing the video game. So to me, you're still a gamer. I'm a gamer. But the reason I want to talk about these 2 is because, for one, these 2 are my original Call of Duty games that I got way back in the day when they came out. I honestly don't know when that was. I probably should. Probably should look that up right now, but I'm not going to. That's not the way my videos are. The reason I want to talk about these, though, is because for a time, I wasn't a gamer. I mean, I was an outside kid. I was playing baseball. I was just playing, in general, sports. I was playing games outside. I was just an outside person, outside kid at that time. So video games weren't really my thing. One of my other items, I will talk about a time where I was really into video games, and it has to do with the handheld market. You could probably guess what I'm gonna talk about, and I'll say it's my second item. But I don't know. At the time being when Call of Duty was coming out, I wasn't a gamer. Again, I was going out playing basketball, playing football with the homies, and I don't know, when they came out, when Call of Duty came out, I think Halo was out at that time too, and I was working at this car wash, and I finally managed to rake up some tips, well, enough tips to actually buy my first 360. And I bought it from a friend, a family friend, and he actually gave me Halo along with the 360, which is really cool of him. And I think I paid like $50 for the whole thing. For the time being, it was a good price. Excuse my language, but man, we played the crap out of Halo when we first got it, and it was Halo 3. It's one of the best games on the 360 to this day. Incredible multiplayer online. We just had so much fun with it, and it actually introduced us to first-person shooters online. And it was just a great game. The story was great. Just the visuals, the graphics were great too. And I'm not a graphic snob, but I mean, it was a good-looking game. But when we got into Call of Duty, all our friends, they had a 360 and they were playing Call of Duty, and we would go over to their place. And I actually forgot to mention this. We played Call of Duty before Halo. The reason I got the 360 is because we were going to our friend's place constantly to play Call of Duty. I think we were playing at first Call of Duty. Somebody turn my truck on. We were playing Call of Duty 3, I want to say. I want to say it was 3. I honestly do not remember. But after, it was a Call of Duty that had Dome in it. Like, that actually could be World at War. I honestly do not remember, because I don't play Call of Duty nowadays. After Call of Duty Ghost, I kind of just fell out. Not to say they're not good games. I mean, Call of Duty Black Ops 3 was a pretty badass game. I don't really go towards Call of Duty nowadays. Not to say they're bad games or you're not a real gamer if you play Call of Duty. They're great games. I just try to play some other stuff that I'm not used to, like RPGs and stuff like that. But back to the game. I think we were playing World at War at the time, and then once Modern Warfare came out, was about the same time that I got 360. Just had an awesome time playing Call of Duty, man. We made clans, we made so many new friends online, and we were stuck to Call of Duty for several years, to the point that the people that we were playing online with, we actually met up with them, and we would do LAN parties like around town or like out of town. It was just great. The community itself, I know some people say it's kind of toxic, but every gaming community has a toxic side to it. We can't say they don't. I mean, I don't want to throw examples out there because then I might get some people angry with me, and I just don't want that. But yeah, man, the community that we were in for Call of Duty, it was just great. Everybody was real cool. We'll get a couple beers, and we'll go to a friend's house, and we would just be playing all night, leveling up. Honestly, to this day, some of my friends, they still play Call of Duty games, and they say it's still pretty great. I mean, it gets better and better. It gets a little silly at times with the whole space thing, but I don't know. I did download Titanfall 2 recently, which I'm gonna get into. It looks fun. But anyways, yeah, these two, man, these are actually the Call of Duty franchise is what brought me back as a gamer. Alright, so I know I mentioned before about the handheld thing. I will go into that item now. It's one of my most prized possessions in my collection to this day, simply because the nostalgic factor to it, and that is my original Game Boy Color. And I know I'm cheating because I'm choosing two items for my first and second item, but I mean, the first item, I mean, it was Call of Duty. This time, this came together as a Christmas gift back in 2000 or 2001. Back in 2000 or 2001, it was man, to this day, I still think it's through the Salvation Army. we were signing up for Christmas gifts. And at the time, for several years before and after 2000, we weren't doing good financially. I mean, we were pretty, we were poor, man. I mean, we couldn't afford much, and this was our way of getting Christmas gifts for the kids, I guess. And we got a bunch of stuff through them. Great organization. We got some bikes and some gaming stuff like this. My brother got a green one. He got the green one, and I remember he got Frogger along with his, which I still have actually somewhere in here. But this one, man, the reason I appreciate this and I love this in my collection, it humbles me, because not to brag or anything, guys, I do tend to buy a lot of pricey stuff, like expensive games, collectibles, because I'm able to, like, I work my butt off. But this in my collection, just again, it humbles me. It teaches me that, or it doesn't teach me, it reminds me of the fact that we didn't have much growing up. It makes me appreciate everything in my collection even more. And not to hit the nostalgic thing on this, there's no nostalgic glasses or blinders on me right now. This is an actually fun game. Construction Zone. Let's focus on that. Can it focus? There it goes. Caterpillar's Construction Zone. This is actually a fun game. It actually is one of the few things that actually got me into construction work, which I do nowadays, which is funny, because this was the start of it all. You pretty much take control of just these machines, like a backhoe, a track hoe, a dump truck, and you just go around, and it's not a puzzle based game. It's just, I don't know, you're just getting through levels by, let's say you gotta go over a bridge, but the bridge isn't complete. You need to go pick up some rocks. So you get on the backhoe. For those of you that don't know what a backhoe is, I would pop up one right here, but just look it up on Google, man. A backhoe, I think it's spelled back, B-A-C-K-H-O-E, backhoe, construction equipment. And actually, it's on the game itself. Focus. Is it gonna focus? Focus. No, there it goes. That's a backhoe right there. But yeah, guys, this game is actually pretty fun. I mean, don't expect much. This is an early Game Boy game. There's not much to it. Actually, I think it's a Game Boy Color. I remember there was green trees in there and a yellow backhoe in there. So I think it was a Game Boy Color game. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm not wrong. I'm most likely right. But fun game. Again, no nostalgic blinders on me right now. This is an actual fun game, just like Frogger is. A lot of people will agree with me. Frogger is a fun game. Just because I'm an old gamer doesn't necessarily mean I have poor taste in video games. Like, believe it or not, people think that. But yeah, this is my original Game Boy Color. And again, these are just two items, two of the main items in my collection that I will never sell. I love these items in my collection. Again, it reminds me that we came from pretty much nothing, and my parents, they worked so hard for us to get to this point, and they taught me how to work hard for myself to get to this point. So these items I would never sell. I love them, and I should probably update the screen on that. But anyways, that's my second item that actually I appreciate having in my collection. Now the last item that I'm actually going to talk about is this is a nostalgic feel for me, simply because this is my original Hunt to the Reckoning, or should I say our original Hunt to the Reckoning, my brother and I's first multiplayer, I guess, scary game that we had as kids. The reason I actually want to talk about this one is, again, the nostalgic feel for this one is pretty great. The same reason that I would have talked about my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game up there, Turtles in Time for the SNES. but unfortunately that isn't my original. I sold off my original when I got into retro gaming collecting, which is very unfortunate. I wish I didn't do that, but we all make mistakes. I didn't tell my brother about that one. He might not be happy about it. But the reason I do want to talk about this one is, again, this is one of the few games that my brother and I completed or almost completed. We've completed a couple games in the past. Super Bomberman, Turtles in Time, stuff like that. For the GameCube, we didn't do much, except we did bicker a lot when we played Super Smash Bros. Melee. Playing this is just, for one, it's a great game. It's a great multiplayer game for couch co-op, split screen, whatever you want to call it. Very fun game. It's not that scary, more action than scary. It's like a Resident Evil, more action. But I remember we did get pretty far in this. We didn't finish it simply because of my attitude. When it comes to multiplayer games, I do tend to get a little aggravated when my partner is not complying with my orders, I guess. I was a pretty bad kid when it came to trying to order people around, I guess. Only in gaming. But we didn't complete it. I remember we did get to the very last boss, or I think it was the last boss. We got to the part where it was the vampire dude. He kind of just he would spread out and disintegrate into like a billion bats. I'm exaggerating. It was like 10 or 20 bats towards the end, and it got to the point where he kept killing us. We got like real close to beating him, and then he kept killing us. And it got to a point where I guess my brother didn't like me yelling at him. Or he might have gotten frustrated as well, because he is hard-headed or hot-headed just like I am. It runs in the family. So I guess he just got tired of getting beat by the boss. So we just gave up on it. Will we ever go back to playing this? He might not, but I for sure will. I try to play GameCube games every now and then just because I am collecting for the GameCube. It's over like 600 games that I gotta collect for the GameCube for a complete library, so I have a long way to go. But this game is real special to me. Will I ever sell it? No, just like the Game Boy Color with Construction Zone, I will never sell it. I will never sell most of any of my stuff. I mean, sure, if like hard times hit, I'll have to decide. But stuff like nostalgic feels like this, or my Call of Duty games, I don't really have the choice of to want to sell them, just because they're not pretty expensive. I mean, you could probably find all this stuff for a couple bucks, except for like the Game Boy Color, you probably get it for like 20 bucks. But even so, I just don't want to get rid of this stuff. It's just a reminder of where I came from, gaming wise, you know. Just, I guess in general, just a struggle of growing up, not being able to afford video games like I can now, which again, it makes me appreciate everything I get, and it just makes me appreciate the people around me, the stuff around me, and just everything in general. It's real humbling to have this sort of stuff in your collection. But that's about it, guys. I mean, again, I apologize for taking this long to actually get this video out, but I finally did, and I feel pretty good about this one, man. It's the nostalgic trip for me is up there. So thank you for tagging me. Unfortunately, I don't have many friends that do YouTube, so I can't tag anybody unless G wants to get tagged again, which he's pretty busy, so I won't. But again, G, thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys, for even for watching this. And hey, I'll catch you in the next one.